What's up, guys? Day 24, and today I'm coming at you with another video for all the moms out there, or even the ones that aren't moms and are just kind of curious, like what some of these women are doing that have a six pack. Because I know I was wondering this. And today we're going to be learning from today's guest, Chelsey Mckinney. So Chelsey, she's a former workout partner of mine, a fellow competitor, and now she's a lean, mean new mommy machine that looks like she's got another ab poking out every single time I see her. I mean, it's crazy. She is an ex-cheerleader turned CrossFit enthusiast, having competed at the regionals level from 2012 to 2017. And she always loved training in the gym, but she's like me. She was a smaller athlete, felt like she always had to play catch up in order to compete with the bigger, stronger girls. And so when training started to feel more like a job than a passion to her, that's when she decided to turn in her her competition days. Since then, this girl has gone through some super big transitions, from exchanging weightlifting to gymnastics, to going through pregnancy, and now, having to really figure out how to balance her love for fitness and time in the gym on her new busy mom schedule. And the coolest part about this is this girl looks and feels the fittest that she's ever been on a schedule where she's spending the least amount of time in the gym. All right. This new mama, she has abs of steel and a passion that just makes it seem just so effortless. So for all you guys, all you moms out there or women with busy schedules, dive in to see how Chelsey does it all and what her secrets are. We'll see you guys in the video. All right, guys, welcome back to the Fit Chick Project. Today we have on Chelsey Mckinney. Chelsey, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited.
You bet. I'm super excited to have you on today just because I feel like, I met you over at Duke's gym, and you were flying around doing all the gymnastics and stuff. And I thought you just you just seemed to have a really good balance with like having fun in the gym and transitioning out of, competing, with CrossFit. And I'm just kind of curious, especially since we met that one time, like you now have a kid, and I'm just curious how you've been able to transition, what that transition has looked like, and how you've been able to stay so damn fit this whole entire time. I mean, you look amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and start off with your athletic career. So kind of bring us back to your competitive days. When was that? What did that look like?
So I competed in CrossFit for 6 years. Starting in Texas, I was at CrossFit Central in Austin and competed with them, I think 4 years. I went to regionals as an individual one time, and then I went to the games on a team with them one time also in 2014. And then we moved to California, and I competed for a few more years with Paradiso CrossFit on their team. And it was a lot. I mean, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I loved it when I was in it, and I had all the time, and that was my priority, and those were my goals. And we would spend 3 to 4 hours in the gym every day. And it was like, you get to hang out with your friends and work out, and it was fun, So it's easy to commit to that. But it got to the point where I was having to work on my weaknesses all the time, which I'm not the biggest person.
Yeah.
So strength was always something that I had to work on. Snatching, just weightlifting in general, which isn't really my passion, wasn't never really my passion. I appreciate it. I would do it, but I could never snatch what the girls were snatching, and I could never, I was always trying to play catch up the whole time. And I really like the gymnastics side of things. So I, after the last year I competed, which, gosh, was that 2017? Something like that. 2017, I think, was the last year I competed. I was like, this is it for me. I'm going to focus on gymnastics for a while because that's what I think is fun. So that's when I met Duke and had him kind of help me with that transition as well. I was like, I've been getting programming for years. That I just follow, and I program for other people, but it's hard to program for yourself. You're like, should I do this? Should I not? I always want to be working towards a goal, but I didn't want to have to do that on my own. So I reached out to Duke, who is an amazing gymnastics coach. He was an elite level gymnast and Cirque du Soleil performer. So he knows like all the cool tricks, also a great CrossFit coach. So it was like a good step for me. He really helped me in the beginning, at least, with that transition on like, you can still set goals. You can still have things that you're working towards. You can still reach out to people for help, and you're not alone in this. And so for a while, for like about a year, I worked mainly on gymnastics. I'd probably still spend like 2 to 3 hours in the gym just because that's what I was used to, and I had the time to do it. And then towards the end of that, I kind of was like, okay, I can take over my programming for myself, and which was a lot of work, but it was easier for me to like see the pattern of like how to program for myself, what I'm gonna do to feel accomplished that day, or like feel like I'm working towards my goals still, and setting new goals and all that kind of stuff. And then my husband and I decided to try to have a baby, and so things definitely changed a lot then. Throughout pregnancy, I mean, a lot of the stuff that you have to modify is the gymnastics stuff, which was like, it's like, I really wish I liked weightlifting at the moment. So, I mean, you modify and you figure out what works and what doesn't work. And then whatever works one week probably isn't going to work the next week. So it's just like really keeps you on your toes and like doesn't let you get stuck in a routine or like get stuck in a rut of like, this is it, you know, this is what I do every day. You know, it kept it interesting throughout the process. And then coming back from having Deacon, I mean, I took my time for sure. I definitely took my time. In the beginning, I remember being like, oh my gosh, they say you can't work out for like 6 weeks after having a baby. What am I going to do? And then I had him and I was like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I want to sit here with this baby. Like, we maybe went on a few walks within the first few weeks and, you know, really just like soaked it in, and got back to like maybe 5 weeks in or something, got back to like some super light movement. I remember trying to do my first push up and I was like, ah, like, I could barely get myself up. So then it was like, okay, take your time. I had other good people. Emily from Birth Fit was my doula, and she gave me great advice on like when to start incorporating movements back in and all that kind of stuff. I kind of waited the 4th trimester, the 3 months after having him, to start really getting back into any gymnastics or core movements and stuff. And then even then it was like, okay, I'm going to get back to strict movement before I do kipping movements. And then like the whole goal process starts all over again. Like, can I get my strict muscle up back? Can I get back into swinging without like feeling super disconnected in my core and stuff like that? And, you know, it just like the process goes. And like, I would take Deacon to the gym with me all the time. We wouldn't be spending the 3 to 4 hours in the gym that I used to. It was like, how much can I get done in this 1 hour that I may be distracted by taking care of a baby as well as doing my workout? But I want to leave the gym feeling like I did something, like I feel accomplished, not like I was there for an hour and I got nothing done. So he was in there from the beginning, so I don't think he really had a choice to like figure it out, you know, and we figured out what worked. And same thing as in pregnancy, like 1 week something would work, he would sit in a bouncy seat and he would pass out, and it was great. And then the next week he's like, I don't want to be in this seat anymore. So it's just like learning as you go, keeping it interesting and trying to get as much done in that 1 hour. Now I will say my workouts are way more efficient. I can get like an hour's worth of programming done probably in 30 minutes if I just like go. Sometimes I feel like that increases my intensity a little bit, and I feel like I get a better workout in that 30 minutes than I would have doing it in the hour that I could have like had some extra rest or like stood around for it. I mean, it's really cool now to see, like, we're working out at home all the time, and
Yeah.
we have like a little setup on our patio, which is nice, and Deacon will come out there with me a lot. A lot of times I'll work out when he's napping if I like really want to get something done, but if I'm like working on skills or handstands or stretching or whatever, he'll come out with me, and he'll push me down when I'm stretching, and he'll like try and do his handstands and stuff, and he can do his squats now, and it's
Mhm.
really cool to see just like what he's picking up on as well. So
Mhm.
that's pretty much where we're at now.
Gotcha. Was it, because the gym is like such an important part to you, and especially like as a coach yourself, like you want to always be feeling like you're progressing. Did you ever feel like get anxious or overwhelmed that like you couldn't get as much as what you used to get done, or like, if, because he was so needy, like, did you ever notice that, like, or did you
Um,
just realize that, what, this is part of like my new life now?
yeah, I think after I stopped competing, and then especially through pregnancy, I think I really changed my mindset on like what my goals are. And
Okay.
and so that helped me with like the timing of everything. And I feel like I don't think I felt throughout this whole thing like I wasn't getting in what I wanted to get in.
Okay.
Like if I have a goal on what I want to do, like I'm gonna figure out a way to make it happen. So my husband's super helpful as well when we're both home. Like we'll both keep an eye on him and stuff. But I don't really feel like I can't do anything.
Hmm.
Like I feel like if I want to do something, I'm gonna figure out how to do it and how to make it work. But
How to make it happen with him there.
right, right.
Hmm.
But I've given up on the like 3 to 4 hours in the gym now. I like don't even know how that was a thing anymore. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. I know. So many people have said that same exact thing. And so, like, what are your goals now?
Um, my goals I feel like are constantly changing. Right now, I'm trying to work on a stalder press handstand where you do a press handstand from seated. So that's super challenging. And I'm just like following different people, trying their drills, trying to just learn as much as I can. And just have something that's like, oh, I got to work on this to keep me going. I do miss doing stuff on the bar and the rings and stuff like that, since I can't really swing on our pull-up bar at home, and we have low rings, but it's not really the same. So I am kind of in the moment looking for some new goals, but just trying to stay motivated on the ones that I've set so far.
Hmm. And I'm assuming like your goals are also, like, what are your goals kind of just for like, is it mainly performance based then? Is there any type of like fitness or like, or I guess physique goals or anything like that? Or is that just kind of coming with the gymnastics? It's just a byproduct.
It's kind of a byproduct, but when we weren't in quarantine and we could, like, I would go to work and I would like be super active all day, like moving around all the time. And then you realize when you're at home, like you're still getting your workouts in, but you're like way less active than you were before. So
Hmm.
I think that's really made me focus a little bit more on cleaning up some nutrition and kind of trying to dial it in a little bit more to make it work at home, so I'm not like
Hmm.
not gonna gain the quarantine 15s,
Yeah. 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 And so, yeah, let's talk about that. So how has, uh, let's talk about kind of how has your diet changed over the years?
I was in gymnastics and cheerleading growing up and cheerleading through college, and I would say that wasn't really the healthiest approach to nutrition. A lot of it was like counting calories. I could tell you exactly how many calories I had in one day, and I would tell you how many I went and burned on the elliptical, even though it's like not really productive. But I think I read all of my college textbooks on an elliptical. So um, that like really messed with my head, I think, nutrition wise. So getting into CrossFit, like, I mean, I've been doing it for like 11 years now, I think. And I remember being like, I want to look like those girls. Like, they just looked amazing to me. And any other fitness program I had done didn't really give me the same results that I wanted. And so when I got into CrossFit and started really learning about nutrition, that was like a huge thing for me. In the beginning, I did like a few challenges, like we did zone and we did paleo and we did like a 4-week challenge or stuff like that. I think I did a few of them, and it was like learning how to measure your food and stuff like that. But it all came back to like counting things, and like, I can't handle that anymore. I don't want to stress about it. I don't want to know how many calories I ate in a day. I don't want to know like what I need to go burn off. Like I feel good about myself. I feel like I'm physique wise where I want to be. So I think those challenges in the beginning really helped me realize what to eat and what works for me and what doesn't. And then from then on, it's been like, okay, eat protein, carb, and fat with every meal. Try and have a vegetable with every meal. You know, we kind of get like into a routine of like, this is what we eat for breakfast, this is what we eat for lunch, this is what we eat for dinner. If you want a snack, try one of these things, you know. But I'm not going to say that I'm perfect at it. Like, I still like the 80-20 rule, right? Like 80% of the time eat super clean and 20% of the time do whatever you want. I really like cookies and margaritas. So I'm not going to like cut those out of my life, but I'm not going to have them every day, all day. You know, I might have cookies every day, but that's
okay. Okay, I was going to say, is it every day? Because I have to have something every day.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for chocolate chip cookies. So
nice.
You know, with the quarantine thing though, I've tried to be a little bit better about those, like limit my serving size a little more since I'm not as active. But I mean, when I was competing, I think the main change was like we would eat more carbs and stuff like that because you're training for so long. But now it's just like, just do the best you can and don't stress about it. And that seems to be what works for me. And that's what I want to teach my son also. He eats what we eat. And I'm happy with that. So I think the stress, like if you stress out of it, about it a lot, is it's not going to help you. It's not going to help your physique, you know, those stress hormones and stuff. Like if you just constantly think about it all the time, like it's not going to go in the direction that you want it to go. And then like, why do you want to be stressed out all the time?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because being stressed, I mean, it's like if you're going to choose to be stressed out, like that's just going to cause you to be more neurotic, which is just, you're constantly living in a state of fear. And when you're doing that, then it's like, those cookies are going down at some point, you know, it's just completely different. Yeah. So do you have like anything, do you have like a routine that you do that sort of keeps you on track every single day? Do you have like, you know, like a way that you eat or a morning routine that just kind of helps sets you up for success for the day?
Yeah. I pretty much do the same thing every day. We get up, we have coffee and breakfast. I usually do like 2 eggs with like some bacon or sausage and some Kodiak cakes, which are good. And Deacon and I share that. So he eats the same thing as well. And then for lunch, I go with some territory meals, like a food delivery service. You get to pick your meals, healthy meals, the week before. And that's really nice because I hate thinking about lunch. That one's always been like the hardest for me. It's like, what are we going to eat for lunch? I don't want to eat a sandwich. I don't really like making myself salads either. So that's been helpful to have something. And then for dinner, we go with like vegetables cooked in butter and a meat and either like sweet potato or rice or something like that. And then once Deacon goes to bed, we'll have like something sweet. But one day that'll probably have to change once he's old enough to stay up later. So we'll see.
Hey girl, real quick, have you seen my new Fit Chick clothing line? Oh my God, dude, it is so cute. And there's something for everyone. There's muscle tanks, there's crop tops, there's hoodies, there's trucker hats, and way more coming. Now, the term Fit Chick is not at all about your physical appearance, but rather about the character and the soul behind the name. Fit Chicks are proud. They take pride in what they do and who they are in and out of the gym. Fitness is a way of life for us. It is who we are. And we respect the discipline and the work ethic that every Fit Chick embodies. We love fitness not because of the physical body it creates, but rather the feeling and the experiences that being fit gives us. If this resonates with you, be sure to check out all of our clothing designs at shopfitchick.com. As of now, all orders are going to be done pre-sale only, and the designs will change with every new batch. So if you find a style that you really, really like, buy it up, because who knows if it'll ever come back. All right, let's get back to the show.
What do you feel like you struggle with the most with food?
With food, the sweets for sure at nighttime. Like I gotta limit myself. I gotta like, if I'm gonna get something, I'm gonna like go into the kitchen, I'm gonna get what I want, I'm gonna just put that in a bowl or on a plate, and I'm gonna take it with me to the TV. You know, I'm not gonna bring like the whole bag of whatever, like just trying to like, I think that's probably my biggest thing, because if I take the whole thing with me, like I'm gonna eat way more than I was planning on or wanted to, and then the morning you're like, ugh.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I noticed that like if I just like put it on my plate and then leave the kitchen, I'm so much better, rather than like standing in the kitchen and just like eating and snacking, you know, or taking the entire thing to the room. Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, cool. And so like during your transition, were you afraid of how your body was going to change after training for hours a day and then going into gymnastics? Were you worried or scared about that at all?
A little bit. You know, you get so used to like looking one way, and you know, I was always happy with how I looked and everything, and which wasn't the case when I was in college and cheerleading and stuff. You're always like criticizing yourself, and like I finally had gotten to a point where I was like, this is how I look and I love it. Like, and that had never happened before. So yeah, like making that change was scary. I think that's why I still like spent longer in the gym than I really needed to, or anything. And then like going into pregnancy, it's like, you just got to throw all that out the window, because it doesn't really matter right now. What matters is like keeping the baby healthy and stuff like that. Coming back from pregnancy was different. Also, it was like everybody's like, oh, you're gonna bounce back so fast, and I was like, I don't really care about that. Like, let's do this the right way and stuff. And I mean, you want to get back to how you looked, but like you're not the same afterwards. Like I don't look the same after than I did before, and like I don't work out the same, I don't lift as much weight, so like my legs are smaller and stuff like that, but like I found that I'm happy where I'm at again, which is great. I don't think I ever went through a point where I was like, oh, I just can't wait until I'm like back to whatever. I mean, fitting in your clothes is nice, but I'm definitely different than I was before, but it's still like, it's like a new body. Like sometimes I'm like, is this gonna last? Like when I was breastfeeding, I lost more weight than where I started, and I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. Like maybe this is where I want to be. But then it's like, I mean, it's been like 8 months or so since I quit breastfeeding, and I was like, am I gonna gain weight back after that? Like just not knowing your body really anymore is strange. And it's like I'm happy with how I look, and but is this gonna last, you know? And like I still feel like I struggle with that a little bit. Like I like weighing less than I did before because I'm not lifting as much anymore. So I
Yeah.
don't feel like I need that extra muscle and stuff, but like, is this gonna last? You know, what if I changed a little bit? Like, would I be happy with going back up in weight a little? I don't know. You know, if it fit my goals at the time, probably, but right now it doesn't. And it's like, okay, well, this is where I want to be. This is where I feel healthy, but it hasn't been long enough for me to say, like, feel comfortable in it, you know?
Yeah. It's almost, I think it sounds like the pregnancy, because it's out of your control and you just have to, like, you have to embrace it. It's almost, it's kind of, it's nice because you realize, like, I have to let go of this control, and you start to accept yourself a little bit more and how the body changes. It seems like, I mean,
Totally.
I don't know. But that's what it seems like. So cool. Okay. And so with your workouts, what does your workouts look like today? Like, do you still do any type of, like actual high intensity workouts or anything like that? Or is it mainly just
I do.
gymnastics?
Yes, I am addicted to cardio.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
like CrossFit cardio. I'm not gonna like go out and run 5 miles.
Yeah. Okay.
Just not what I do.
Yeah.
But usually, like, I follow my gym Paradiso CrossFit's group class programming pretty much. The only thing I'll usually change is the strength portion because I want to work on handstands, or I want to do stuff on the rings or the bar and stuff, and I don't really want to squat that much anymore. Like, it's hard to make myself squat. I do it, I just don't like it as much. But then I'll usually do their conditioning as well because I feel good when I like break a sweat and like breathe heavy for a little while. So definitely still add that in. Now that I have more time at home, maybe I'll go stretch for a little while and then like feed Deacon lunch, put him down for a nap, and then I'll go work out and spend more time working on skills than I had before when I was working and having to drive to the gym and get my workout in within 30, 45 minutes and coach my classes and then come home. And like, I felt really good about that at the time, but now I have more time. So it's like, I can use this to work on some skills and stuff, but I still definitely do the conditioning.
And so do you do that every day? Is that like how often are you doing that, the workout classes?
Usually like 6 days a week.
Okay.
So
I 1 hour?
That like about an hour and a half or so. I found that when I was like working and stuff, it was easier for me to be like, Saturdays are my rest days and I'm gonna like coach my people, but I'm not gonna work out. And then now I don't really have anywhere to go, so it's harder to be like, oh, I'm gonna rest today because like, what else am I doing?
yeah.
So I find that I probably and resting a little less. I mean, some days I'll be like, I'm just gonna do gymnastics today and no conditioning, and I feel like that's my like active recovery day.
Right. Okay. And then like when it comes to the CrossFit classes, how's your mentality changed when approaching a workout? Like, do you try to hold a certain pace? Do you try to go intense? Or like hit a certain time? Like, do you care about that anymore?
Somewhat. Like, so our programming at the gym, we have 4 levels and it goes up to like RX plus, which is like competitive level, you know, heavier weights and stuff. And I like decided that I'm just an RX athlete these days. Like, I don't need to lift the heaviest weights. I don't need to do that, but I do still want to maintain. So I'll stick with like babe, go find dad, okay? I'll stick with the RX weights, and then when we're in the gym, like, I want to compete against my classmates. You know, I want to compete against the athletes in the gym who are super fit, and like a lot of them are super inspiring moms, and just like it's good to have that push. Right now, I would say my intensity is probably not as high as it was, but I do still try and get it up there most times. So you just don't know when you have no comparison anymore. It's like, did I go hard? Like, I
Yeah.
feel good about it, but like,
There you go.
I don't know. It's kind of nice, and it's kind of like, oh, I missed that competition.
Yeah, but it's cool because I think it's good for us to know, and not really like just do it just for fun, just because we love to do it, you know, rather than
Right.
expecting that we have to perform a certain way to feel good. And so,
For
how do
sure.
you like, especially now in quarantine, how do you make working out not feel like a chore or a burden? How do you have
I
more
just
fun
like
with it?
doing it.
Just like
I
doing it.
mean, setting goals is always what keeps me going, really, like having something to work towards. Um, even if it's just like my own silly handstand goal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that helps. But I've always just liked doing it. I've
Mm-hmm.
been in gymnastics. I started when I was 3. I did cheerleading through college. I have been doing CrossFit for 11 years. It's just like what I do to feel good. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like myself. I feel like I did something instead of just like, I'm probably not like the happiest person on the days that I don't work out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it like helps my mood as
Yeah.
well.
I hear you there. And what do you do? What's your favorite thing to do? Like if you weren't to work out, like if you're not in the gym or doing gymnastics, like what's your favorite thing outside of the gym?
Um, Hanging out with Deacon, probably.
Yeah.
He's like at a super fun age right now. He's 16 months. He's running around. He likes to play. We go outside. We have a really nice courtyard, and there's like other kids out there that play and stuff, and they ride bikes and they ride their scooters and run around. And then my parents live super close, and we'll go swimming over there or something like that. So just lots of family time,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. And what do you feel like is like what's important to you now that it's not um winning or competing, you know, what do you feel like is your number one priority these days? Your
Um, I mean, just setting a good example for how how I want to live my life, how I want Deacon to learn how to be healthy and like have fun with exercise and stuff like that. I feel like if he doesn't see us do it, like how is he
mm,
gonna
yeah.
know to do it too?
Yeah.
So it definitely changes like your why once you have a kid. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you just think about things a little bit differently, and what you want for them and how you want them to view things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're
So
such a sponge of information when they're that young.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So let's go. Final question. So what do you feel like is like what's your one piece of advice for women who have kids and are just they are struggling to find the balance between, you know, looking fit and also like, you know, having a life outside of the gym, but looking a certain way is really important to them. Their physique is really important. So how do you suggest, like, what's your number one thing as far as like finding that balance to stay fit and feel good and have balance? Yeah.
That's a tough one. I feel like everybody's so different, like the same thing doesn't work for everyone. Um, but I think it's really just like find something that you like to do. You don't have to do whatever so and so's doing. Like find something
Mm-hmm.
that motivates you and do it consistently and try and find the way to add that into your life consistently and just stick with it because the results come over time. There's no like overnight fix, and like if you're doing something that you don't like to do, then you're not going to stick with it. So like if you like dancing or if you like Pilates or if you like like go for it. Just like mix it up, try and find something that you like to do and stick with it, because that's the only way that you're gonna be happy and you're gonna find the results that you want.
Yeah. That's so
So
true. I agree with that. Like rather than like if it feels like a chore to you, then that's not what you should be doing. Like Because when you're happy, it's fun. And when you're not happy, it just sucks. And yeah, that's true.
I agree.
Cool. Awesome, Chels. Well, that has been awesome. Where can people find you? Where can they follow you?
You can find me on Instagram. It's at Chels_Mck, MCK. That's mainly where I'm most active. So that would be the number one. Cool. I think my email address is attached to my Instagram account as well if you ever need to reach out.
Okay. Okay, cool. And then you said you were launching something this Monday. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I'm super excited. I'm working with some friends back from CrossFit Central in Austin who have started a new online platform called Lift Off Body. And they have daily programming as well as like 4-week challenges. And I'm starting to work with them. And my first 4-week challenge is a gymnastics core challenge. So it's going to be 4 weeks, 5 days a week of like 10 to 20 minutes of core work. It kind of builds as you go, so you can get to some more challenging movements, but it's definitely like friendly for everyone. So that's launching on Monday. Registration's open already for it. It's only $9.99 for now since we're all in quarantine. We're just doing like really good deals for people to be able to stay fit at home. So that's starting, and then eventually I'll have more programs through them and maybe like an ongoing gymnastics program. So who knows?
Okay, cool. Yeah, because this is going to get released when these guys hear this. It's going to be there. It's already going to be in June. So is this something that like is this a live thing, or can they start it in June?
You can start anytime. Cool. We're going to have like a live Facebook group for people who are doing it, so we can like ask questions and share questions and stuff like that. So that's really the part that's like starting on Monday, but you can do it anytime. This can be added on to your regular programming. It can help with your weightlifting. It can help with your everyday life. Like you have back pain, maybe it's coming from like a weaker core, you know? So like, I think core strength is something that can benefit anyone. So I'm excited to see who joins in.
Well, I want to do it. I mean, 10, 20 minutes, I can do that. That sounds like fun. So yeah, where can I find where can we find information about that? Where do we go?
It's posted on my Instagram as well as Lift Off Body Instagram. They have a link on there that you can go to sign up. Gotcha. And that will be on my profile as well.
Cool. Awesome, Chelsey. Well, thank you so much for being on this show. It's been an honor having you on here.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great talking with you.
No problem, girl. All right, guys. We'll see you guys in the next video.